the idea of using the proceeds of criminal activity to do some good for our community and our society and our country makes complete sense to me. It's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't we want to do it? And actually, why wouldn't we want to continue to do it? So, a great initiative set up in Scotland. Frankly, it's amazing that we're not doing it in other parts of the UK, but long may it continue.
Stop dreaming.
So here today we're at the Parkour Park in Coatbridge. I'm here with a couple of my friends and my coach Peter, and we're just getting some filming done. I'll also be coaching later with my one-on-one session, and yeah, we're just getting some training done. So I got involved through flyers that were handed out at my school, just had an after school club 3 to 4, and I went along with a couple of friends, just your usual after school club, and I didn't really realise how much I would love it. It's not difficult to learn. A lot of people also think that you have to be a certain age to learn. You can start anytime, anywhere, as long as you've got some qualified coaches who know what they're doing and who know the fundamentals to teach you. And I wouldn't say it's the most dangerous. Every sport has its dangers, but it's a very calculated risk. So although we train outdoors, we start in a safe environment with crash mats and judo mats and gymnastics horses and all this equipment. And we were taught how to land and how to roll before we even think about doing any of the stuff out here. Before we go up and do all these risky stuff like on the buildings, and we practice it on the ground level and we get it to a T until there's no doubt about it, and then that's when we take it to height. From starting parkour, I've always wanted to be a stuntman. As soon as I got into the parkour community, I've always wanted to get into stunt work. Just being in the movies, the whole kind of James Bond thing, I think that's probably my youngest dream. My coach is Peter, he's just over there. He was out training with us today, and I still train to this day with him. He's known me since I was 10, and he's been like a big brother to me.
We ran classes and the age limit was 12 and up, and he was 10, but his dad was really quite persistent. So we gave him a shot, we gave him a class and said we'll see how he goes. And he just picked up everything we threw at him straight away. He was just like a sponge. Literally just absorbed all the knowledge that he could, and so we were like, right, okay, we'll let him come, we'll let him train.
I used the money to get my level 1 coaching qualification, and I went down to London for a week and I was assessed and had a big assignment and all that type of thing, and I was taught how to coach. Without being able to get my qualification, I wouldn't be able to then ask my parents to leave school because I didn't have a way of making money, a kind of part-time job to go to then make money to then go and do all this training and travel and all this experience. So I'd definitely say it helped a lot, yeah.
For some young people, it's simple. It's removing a financial barrier. So that's where the CashBack awards come in. And they are up to £500. And they can help with anything. So, for example, it could be helping a young person buy equipment so they can do hairdressing. It could be training to be a barista. We've helped a refugee do their higher English, and that allowed them to go into university. We've even funded, I think it was the youngest pilot licence in Scotland. So it's a wide range of things that young people just need a bit of financial support to do. So thanks to the CashBack Awards, and we do around 900 a year, people like Robbie can move on and succeed in life.
Later on, I'll be taking my one-on-one session with my student Robbie, and we'll be doing an hour class. Depending on the weather, we'll do some balancing or some vaults. I mean, the rails today are pretty dry, so we'll get to doing some balancing. We then usually try and find a new jump, so try and do something new every week. So we try and break a jump, is the term we use. It's when you overcome a mental barrier in a jump, so one you've never done before. And we'd work at that, we'd try and get something new. And then after that, if he does something new, he gets a kind of reward and we get to play some games.
My son Robbie has been participating for about a year. Robbie Griffiths became his tutor about 6 months ago, and Robbie's kind of confidence and everything with regards to this has come leaps and bounds. It's obviously given me confidence as well that he's not going to do self-damage when he's down here in playground, and he's learning things properly. But Robbie Griffiths has been a great support to Robbie.
Stop dreaming.
I ended up getting mixed in with a bad crowd and I went on legal highs. I was on legal highs until I was about 15, so about 3 years of my life I was addicted to legal highs. I only came off of them because they were made illegal and nobody could get them anymore. It was the only reason I came off of them. So, and then just as I came off them, that was when my mum got ill. So me and my mum's relationship changed so much. We were literally like two different people. Like, she got ill and she realised that she needed some time to kind of like just chill. And she realised that I wasn't this little kid anymore and I could actually look after myself. So I mean, my relationship, like my life before my mum got ill was awful. I was involved with social work, I was in different, like, I was a looked after child, I was in care, I was in and out of children's hearings like no tomorrow. I was skipping school, I nearly got kicked out of school, I threw a chair at my head teacher, I got caught with a bottle of vodka, I got caught with legal highs, like, I was not a nice teenager. And then my mum got ill and everything changed.
Underneath everything, she's a really likeable, exciting, lively young girl that, to be honest, you can't help but really like her and kind of want to help her and support her in whatever way you can. Gosh, can you think back when you first started coming to...
I know, God, back in the fourth year
Probably
days.
S3, yeah.
Yeah, S3, S4.
What would you say was going on then?
Oh God.
Chaos?
Well, yeah, I nearly got kicked out of school God knows how many times. Mum was ill.
Kind of running with a rough lot.
Oh yeah, I was just going off the rails completely. Going off the rails and then going off the rails a bit more.
Yeah, it was
So,
quite... Oh, you've done so well.
I know, it's nice to kind of look back on it now and realise how much it's changed.
I know, isn't it funny?
I know.
It's-
Looking back on me 3-4 years ago, you never really think about it. You never really, because I'm such a different person now that looking back on it, I'm kind of like, what?
I can't...
Is that actually me? I grew up around horses. My godparents had a Shetland pony breeding stud. So my birth present to my mum for me was a Shetland pony. I was never that little girl growing up wanting a pony. He was right there. He was the most incredible pony in the world. She just told me to look after myself. She just told me, don't be stupid. Don't be an idiot. Remember where your boundaries are and remember where you stand with them. Just very much a case of don't mess your life up, basically. And after that, it was just that's when I realised I needed to sort myself out. Just come off a 3-year drug addiction. Going through horrible, horrible times. School wasn't the best, even when my mum was here. And when the idea of peer mentoring came up, me and another kid experienced loss that goes to peer education. We decided when the opportunity arose for it, we decided we were going to go for it. So we went down to Aberdeen for a residential, and we went down and we got a training, full day course.
I've known Joanne since she could barely walk. I've known her a long, long time. She came to our project. I think she was about 13 at the time. We'd made an exception for her due to some personal reasons, and she joined us and has been a delight to have our whole time. She's helped deliver workshops, she's helped develop new ones, and generally she's just been a great asset to have to the project. It's called the Open Project, so it stands for Our Peer Education Network. And so what we are is a third sector charity project, and what we do is we train our volunteers in issue-based topics that we feel are really important, things like sexual health, mental health, online safety, drugs, and we deliver workshops in all of the junior and high schools around Shetland.
I think just the fact that we are closer to their age, and when you have a teacher that's sat there in their 40s, that's sat there speaking to you about chlamydia, you get a bit, toes kind of curl a little bit, a bit maybe not. But then you get you guys in, you guys just make such a laugh of it.
Especially when you bring the teddies in.
Yeah.
So got chlamydia!
If you guys want to see the STI, Julia, you're on it. We have STI teddies. Little
things.
Cuddly toys.
They're in the red box, Julia.
Ah, my teeth!
Well, someone else caught it.
Syphilis. I love syphilis. Come on then.
Amazing.
How cute is syphilis?
Having kent you when you were
tiny,
piri, and all the stuff that was going on, and all the different folk that's trying to work with you and help you, and
had 8 agencies involved in me at one point. It was never had a day off. Now I'm settled and I'm all good.
It's so great to see.
I know.
In terms
moving
of
on with my life, moving in with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Got college, got my job,
and even just being settled here.
Yeah.
You always hated this place and needed to get away, and it was the worst place in the world. But actually, I can see that you're.
It is, and it's so weird to turn around and think that 3 years ago I hated this place, and now I get homesick when I go on holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play for Cove. I play for Aberdeen.
We liaise with the school. We have quite a really good relationship around the school with the teachers, and then we have a part-time coach that runs the sessions. So every day, as part of their timetable, the kids receive 1 period of football every day.
Girls can be just as good as boys. There's some girl footballs like Kim Little that's came really far, and then most girls can be better than boys. And I just think football's an all-game sport, so not just for boys.
I'm Neil Hendry, and I'm head teacher at Lochside Academy. Right from the off, that's what School of Football was all about. It wasn't about producing, the next professional footballers coming to our city. It was about using football to make our young people better young people.
We're not just here to play football, we're here to be friends and spend time together.
It's made me more confident. Before I would not be able to do anything like this, but football's brought my confidence up and made me speak to more people.
Lana has been playing football with the boys. She came into our under-12s development programme. She's now in our North regional performance squad at under-14s level. She gets football every day here at the school, but she also plays football every day after school as well. So we've got high hopes for her as well. But more importantly, she's a nice girl. She works hard, she's got a tremendous attitude, and she's really come on. She's now a leader within the group at the school, I think, and she's a role model for the other girls from her primary school, you know, other girls in the local community, that shows what can be achieved through football as well.
I think girls should get like paid just as much, because like right now boys are getting paid like way more than girls are, and some girls, I don't know, I just think that everything should be the same. Like you don't have that in like tennis can be an all game sport, so why can't football?
I was involved with the CashBack funding in the SFA to set up one of the first 6 School of Football at St Macher Academy, which is still currently a School of Football in Aberdeen. And then over the last 2 years I've been working again with the SFA to set up, again through CashBack funding, a School of Football at Lochside Academy. That opportunity to support a young person and to give them that's something just to hang on to and develop their skills from that makes all the difference. But if attendance improves, then their attainment improves and their confidence improves, and everything else ripples through. There's a positive ripple goes through the whole young person.
We've been lucky tonight, we're getting use of the Cove Rangers Balmoral Stadium. We've got the Cove Youth Girls section coming along tonight, so we've got the under 9s, under 11s and under 13s teams training. So we have a number of volunteers. We're probably looking at around 50 girls coming along tonight, so again they'll just have their sessions going on as normal, but it's great to showcase them all together.
Normally we would have a warm-up, have a little laugh, a water break, then we would start doing some drills. For example, we would work on our passing, our possession, our shooting, and at the end we would have a game.
So young people have to have a passion for football, but they don't need to be outstandingly talented at it. They just need to be committed to the programme, and more importantly their parents need to be committed to the programme as well.
My name is Kevin Patterson. I am the coach for the under-11s. Women's football is often downtrodden by some that what may be deemed as the more purists, who just think it should be a male-dominated thing. But we look at how well the Scottish national team, the women's Scottish national team have gone. They're off to their World Cup. So it's just showing that the girls can do it as well as the boys.
I want to go to America and get a scholarship with my football. Hopefully at the age of 17 or 18 I'm looking at move over there and get a scholarship and continue playing football.
Here we've doubled participation numbers within the girls and women's game to around 1,500 up here, probably around 12,000 nationally. So you know, if that could grow again to up to maybe 20,000, I think that would be successful. But as long as the girls have the opportunities to play football in the great environment, if the clubs grow the way they can grow and have full pathways, then I think that would be the ultimate aim.
I'm a huge collector of movies, so I'll go around the charity shops looking for movies or action figures. I have a quite large action figure collection. Huge fan of Billy Elliot when I was a child, and never understood why. Obviously there was some level of connection while watching that film as a kid, and then I was thinking back the other day as an adult, you know, the whole story of Billy Elliot was about him expressing who he is and what he does, and I think when I was thinking about it, YouthWorks allowed me to express who I am and what I want to do in life, and it dawned on me that could have been the reason I was such a fan of Billy Elliot when I was younger.
Jake's always volunteered his time on a Monday to help with the community cafe because it's something he believes in.
Well, I'm cooking mince and tatties, so all I've done I never thought of being a youth worker. I actually got sent to Pitstop from the job centre. So I got an opportunity to come and volunteer on a Monday when the community cafe had just started up. When I was first working here, it was mainly about what I can do behind the coffee bar. You're still doing youth work even if you're working behind the coffee bar. You might not realise it at the time. That was my first glimpse into it. That was it. After that, that's what I wanted to do, I knew.
Not only do we have young people coming in, we've also got other people from the community too, and in particular Jake has got a brilliant bond with a gentleman called Sandy.
Yeah, I thought your mission debate is really off a good day.
Normally talking about Battle of Britain recently.
Yes, that's right.
That's been up.
You know, they had the model aircraft, and that was really awful good. I got him onto that, and it was really awful good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really awful good.
When I first met Jake, he was unemployed at the time. I don't know if he had a great time at school. I don't think he did have the best of times at school, but he has a passion for learning.
It changed for the worst, unfortunately. I had trouble in school. I'm dyslexic and never got any help with that. I'm very fortunate to have a supporting family, but having that place to go that's not your family, you know, so to get that same support but outside of home life, it just boosts your confidence to a whole new level. You believe in yourself more with someone believing in you, and the same happened with Dawn. She always believed in me, and to go to Pitstop and have no one judge me there from where I'm from or who I am or how I act is fantastic, and no one's prying, you know, oh, tell me this about you, you know. It's all done in your own time, and that's what we allow the kids now, you know. Everything in your own time. We do not judge at all.
If we weren't open at night times, young people would be on the streets, and I don't know what they'd be getting up to, because when we open our doors, young people know it's a safe space that they could come to. 10 years ago I was doing youth work, and I remember getting told there's cashback for community funds coming out, and I smiled. Something good is happening for all the bad things that are happening in our community. If it wasn't for cashback, we wouldn't have been open all the nights that we're open. If it wasn't for the cashback funding, the youth workers wouldn't be here.
Music brings people together in a way that it's very hard to achieve with anything else, because you all become part of one unified thing, which is communicating emotion, and it moves people, it moves people's feelings, and it brings people together and makes them feel part of the same thing. And then if they've shared that together, they have the beginnings of a relationship. And you can build so much on that foundation.
Just good here, just like where I can be myself, and like just go away from trouble sometimes and just come here and play music.
You just feel like more relieved and more free.
I sing, I play guitar, violin, drums, piano, flute recorder.
It's like a weird language that you don't have to really learn the words to understand.
I'm Jed Milroy, I'm the General Manager of Tinderbox. I would say the main impact of getting involved in Tinderbox on a young person is the way it affects your confidence. To be involved in the performing arts, and music's one of the best, is finding that way of expressing yourself and then having that supported and reinforced by many people who are watching you and supporting you, and also being part of a group, being part of a band, being part of a team, and that makes you feel like you're not alone.
I've been involved with Tinderbox since like 2012, but when I started I was a participant. One time sticks out in my mind in particular, like I'd been apprentice for like 2 weeks, and this wee girl, she must have been like yay high, came in, I can't do it. And Mike, who was like the lead tutor at the time, was like, come over, I'll show you some stuff on the keyboard. And like within like a minute, everyone else had joined in. So there's this jam being led by this wee girl who says that she can't play an instrument. And it's just like such a powerful thing to see, you know what I mean? Like, the music industry is so big because it makes people feel, you know what I mean? Like it either like heightens the emotions that they have, or it puts them into like a better place than where they are.
I never thought about expressing myself before, but when I realized I started by music and like writing songs and art, then I realized how important it is to just like drop some of the weight into creating stuff. They actually helped me relax and realize how many problems I actually had, and like seeing them on a piece of paper and then can like expressing itself on a piece of paper and then actually producing it into a song or something really helps to just feel like that's somewhere else now, that's not with me.
The cashback funding is essential to make this happen. We need, unfortunately, we need money to make great things happen, and that this has ensured that our hub can continue to run. It's ensured that we've got the tutors in place that we need to teach the kids and be here, make it happen.
Don't let anyone's opinion drag you down, just be yourself. And you'll build up the confidence eventually, just don't try to be a person you're not supposed to be.
There's a mountain top that I'm dreaming of. If you need me, you know around me. I'll be riding shotgun.
It's taught me like a wide variety of things, and like it's just helped me improve a lot.
I got a lot out of being a participant, you know what I mean? Like it does a lot for your confidence, does a lot for your like socialising and stuff like that. Like at the time I wasn't really socialising very much, I wasn't very confident. And yeah, really, it's like it's really hard to explain, but it's like a really good outlet for a lot of things that, like if this didn't exist, I don't know where I would have got it, I don't know where other people would get it, kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Very unusual to have an orchestra where there are people who are literally playing an instrument for the first time that week, and you've got students at university who are playing very high level ability on their instrument, and we're playing together as equals in terms of we all belong to the band. And it's not just lip service. It's not just saying, oh okay, you can shake a shaker, that's good. We're saying we belong together and we're making a great sound, and it's about the vibe.
I'm gonna break free from this prison cell. I'm gonna live my life till the very end. Let this go, but now I'm free from everything, and it's all because of me. I'm gonna break free from this prison cell. I'm gonna live my life till the very end. Let this go, but now I'm free from everything, it's all because of
Life was in constant danger.
You did not feel safe at any point. You did not have the chance to say, okay, today I'm going out and I know I'm coming back. My name is Shima Abdullah. I have been a part of this project of CashBack project with PAMI to help young refugees or at St John's High School to engage into art. These are usually mainly painted on bits of newspapers and headlines that have things written about refugees coming into the countries.
I think it's really shows that you're human too, you know. It's
yes,
like
exactly.
There's all this kind of destruction going on in the background,
and we're actually trapped in, like, nothing.
Yeah, but it's showing that actually you're a real person in there, and people should actually, you know, take note of that. Look at the difference it's made to all the young people that you've mentored and helped at St John's. And again, like I say, us as workers, we've just been humbled by all of you, you know, and the young people really look up to you. And
thank you.
You know, it's like the first week that they came into St John's and they saw you, it was just like their little eyes all lit up. Shima's here, we'll be okay.
Yeah,
that's a huge difference to make to people's lives.
Being a child and being scared of death, and having to console your friends because one of their members of family died, when others would be playing in our age or asking for sweets or something. I would have to walk to school and not knowing what things that I would experience, kidnapping or even being attacked. So here it would be a safe journey on the bus or by car. You get there to school. While in Syria, every single day you had to go out to, if you want to go out to school, you would have to say goodbye to your mum, have a big hug and say, "Mum, wish that I come back," which is quite sad. It is really upsetting that you have to say goodbye every single day to your mum. These are things that you sometimes cannot express in words, but you can express in artwork. And that is, I think, the main reason that made me want to go into it, just to be able to show what we are interested in and who we are as personalities, even with the lack of language sometimes.
It's good to show them in a really positive light, because it's sometimes quite controversial, you know, how people feel about refugees, and they really benefited from this project, and they were able to show their talents and get involved and you know, show a really positive aspect from their community, and come together was a really important part of the project for them as well.
Well, as development worker, I'm always looking to engage with a number of partners across the city, and from working with PAMI, I knew that connections to other countries were a huge part of what young people were interested in. So I was looking for funding which gave us an opportunity to explore that, and young people were heavily involved in that whole process too, from the groups that we already engaged with, and CashBack seemed a natural fit.
It has been really a really good experience. Like,
yes, because that's here it's different culture,
but
really we enjoy
culture.
it. We enjoy it, and we find the life here is easier than in Syria. Really, because that's when I used to live there. It's big different. We find it's easier, happier, and we find everything that's
like more. You can get things easier and faster here. Just because if you work hard, you can get them like
you can get to a point here, which is it's really nice, and it's a different culture, but we are trying to engage in it as much as possible. Try to get to know more Scottish people, food maybe sometimes.
And that's good thing that the Scottish people is very friendly and they are very helpful. Really, when you need anything, they are very helpful and they do a lot of things for us.
My big dream is to be able to show what refugees are, show what we are as human beings, that we have not, even though we've gone through war, that doesn't mean that we're going to stop. That means that we're going to do more and more to make things better. I want to be able to give back to what Dundee has given me, basically.
We couldn't have delivered any of the positive work that we did with young people without that funding. And it wasn't just that, it was the way it enabled us to bring together all these different partners, creative partners, from education department, from the community, and all the different young people. So the CashBack funding was just essential for that, really.
To watch somebody like Liam grow as a person, and I think that's the testament to youth work. I think it's the value that we put in making sure that these projects support young people, and I think that's unique about Shetland as well, is that we can follow those stories. I think in bigger cities than that, sometimes you lose connection with young people and you might never meet them again or have the opportunity, but for our young people we get to see the impact of youth work the next year, in 5 years time, and in 10 years time.
This is the strongman section of the Shetland Weight Training Club. It's the Scalloway Gym. This is my safe haven. It's not about lifting weights, it's more about the mental stress relief of anything. It relieves a lot of stress because you're knackered at the end of the time. And it's really good to go home and lie in a warm bed after you've worked hard and you know you deserve it. I was diagnosed with autistic spectrum disorder, Asperger's, and dyslexia when I was very young. Like the reading and writing, I'm useless at it. I can string a few words together, but I can't read them. And I really used to have a personal bubble. If I didn't know them, I would kind of shy away. I was very enclosed, very shut off from just about everyone. And when I was very, very young, I was like a stick, is the best way to put it. So when I got to high school, I thought, right, I need to change quite a lot. So I started talking to more people, trying to try some new stuff out, and slowly got to a place of more health. So we're now off to the castle, which is right in front of us. Round about my fourth year exams, I got really worried and stressed, obviously because it's exam time, and there was an incident where I can't really remember how it all kicked off, but the police were called into the school, and as I said, I was still quite fond of my little bubble, and I was unaware that the police were there and they put their hand on my shoulder. And from that moment there, I blacked out and I can't remember anything until waking up with handcuffs. That's all I remember. And it was very emotional, waking up and not knowing what's going on in an area where you're surrounded by 6 big burly police officers, you know, with handcuffs on the floor. It's very worrying that I remember thinking, wait a minute, something's gone wrong here. Because you see things that other people do and you pick up on them, and you notice how it's very different to what I do, and it started to make me think about how I act, how I do things, and it put me into a bit of a spiral. Since then I've realised that it's not actually something that you can control, it's just something who I am. You know, I'm not, Liam the autistic man, I'm Liam.
I first met Liam in February 2016 when he played the bagpipes at my Boys Brigade company for a burn supper, and he had so much sort of passion and enthusiasm, but he didn't have many community connections at that point. He played in the pipe band, but he was very keen to volunteer and help out, so he ended up joining the FAST project and taking a leadership role at that point.
The FAST project, we kind of call me like a peer mentor. I give them the likes of a warm-up, and if they're having a struggle with a technique, I make sure that they're correct. I make sure that they know what they're doing, that they're comfortable. Any changes that need to be done, maybe take off some weight. I like to be there to make sure that they're happy and that they're safe. And so it's kind of, I'm there to support them, not just with the physical means. Like if they want to talk to me, I'm a friend. That cashback money has done absolute wonders. It's helped us get equipment to start trying more things, to get people to come and do stuff with us, and funding for us to get out. So we give some of the lads and the lasses a chance to go out about, to go to the likes of the Scallow gym and see what it's like for themselves, so that they're not just hearing about it from me.
I think he's just demonstrates, I guess, when you take part in as many opportunities as he has, then his journey through some of our provision and youth service, he's really come out the other end really strong and really confident, which is lovely to see. Shetland can be a very isolating place. Young people can be a long way away from other young people when they leave school every day. They're having to mix with older people and younger people and people who are relatives and people who are not relatives. And so it's a really different kind of mixture, I think, for a lot of young people in Shetland, especially if you live far away from Lerwick. I think in terms of through the youth service, we're kind of recognising that it's about trying to bring young people together as much as we can, so that we can do as much kind of group work or developing those skills for them for the future.
We're here at Pitreavie Amateur Athletic Club in Dunfermline, and tonight we're race running.
I feel happy and I feel joyful, and I just like seeing all my friends.
It's fun, it's joy. I see Luke, it makes me smile like Christmas.
What makes the bike special is they're low resistance, so it takes very little forward motion in order to get some momentum up and then be able to keep it going.
really anything that she can do moving on her own steam is absolutely brilliant for her self-esteem, but also for her physical development. For her, it keeps her muscles strong. The stronger her muscles around the joint, the better she is.
I have dystrophic dysplasia, a type of dwarfism, and it makes all my limbs shorter than everybody else's, which restricts me from doing some things. My knees and my hips aren't working properly.
The race running bike is when you can really shine, isn't it?
Yeah, that helps me get around the place. I don't feel like I have it when I'm on my race running bikes. I'm just running, not really thinking about anything.
Riley, walkies! Here's a little engraved plaque for donated by CashBack for communities. Walkies, are you going on walkies?
She was permitted to take the race running bike home from the club, so she was able to go out with her friends.
It gave me independence, like let me be able to do things that I couldn't usually do, which was cool.
My name is Pirate Melville. I'm the Petrivi race running coach, one of the two, but I also happen to be a paediatric physiotherapist, so there's a lovely link between NHS and the leisure part of the group. I've really known Kira since she was a small baby, 6 months old, and I intermittently see her during the year. Although there are a lot of alternative activities out there, it is the severely disabled kids that seem to do very, very well with race running. Good, lovely, that's actually really good, kids.
I want to go in the Paralympics with it.
So it looks like it's possibly going to be a future Paralympic sport, which is quite exciting because you do compete, and she's very competitive. She loves racing. She just absolutely loves it. She doesn't care about her pain or what's going on. She's very focused, very driven.
Oh, the money was just manna from heaven. To be able to get such an amount of money in one go so that we could buy 10 bikes from the get-go in a range of sizes so that nothing was standing in the way of the children who would like to access our group. The ethos is fantastic. It's a brilliant idea to take some money that's come from such negative events and then to twist it and have such a positive outcome as this, to really put the money to good use within a community and have so many children benefit, children that otherwise wouldn't be able to get out and about and enjoy a healthy lifestyle, that they're out and doing. So it's brilliant.
I guess it's quite an exposed town. The nearest town to us is Belfast, which is Northern Ireland. It's 20 odd miles away by sea, whereas the next big town by land will be Ayr, which is 55 miles, Alton Feast, which is 75 miles away.
If you interviewed anybody from all over Scotland, if they've been to Stranraer, they will tell you we're very friendly down here. So I think it's half Irish in us.
I just think the kids don't get enough in the town. However, perhaps it's some of the adults who don't want the kids. There's not enough volunteers out there to actually sit and give their time up.
Stranraer features quite highly in the sort of national list of deprived towns. There's not a great deal of investment in Stranraer. There's not a lot of employment opportunities for youngsters in particular, and kids who are looking to make a career in industry tend to move away from the town. and they'll go to university and just not come back.
It's easy to get into a rut where you then go out and you go on the drink every weekend or something like that. Now that's what we need to try and fix, and there's no quick or easy answer to it.
We mostly just sit around like with our friends and stuff like that, because there's not a lot to do around the town, so we just come here at night and stuff.
During the hours of darkness, there can be issues of antisocial behaviour in the park, so it's one of the areas I patrol regularly just to make sure there's no youth congregating or they're not causing any issues to the wider community.
I think we need to push it forward and really drive and give the youngsters of the community activities to do, and wide ranging activities, give them a wee taste of everything, and we look to try and drive that forward and keep the youths of the day occupied, give them an interest. Attached to them is always a cost, which is an issue for a town like Stranraer, where there isn't a huge amount of free finance available to families to allow children to partake in some activities.
I mean, there is different things that's going on in Stranraer for youth. There's sports clubs, there's youth groups, there's the Twilight basketball on a Friday night, which is fantastic.
The session's called Twilight Basketball. It's held every Friday here in the Ryan Centre. As much as we do the basketball, we focus a lot on youth work and group work. Community-wise, we're putting children coming in and then delivering kind of adults or confident citizens back into the community to point out things that could be better. Bring other peers along to the group to say, do you know, I found this when I was younger, or I was struggling at school. I went along to the Twilight session and they helped me, they supported me, and hopefully that'll kick on and continue.
Before Twilight, I was just mucking around in the street and stuff like that, but ever since I've joined, it's like giving me a place to play, and like I don't have to go away to play basketball anymore. I can play in the town, and I don't cause a lot of trouble.
Amy McNairn came to us incredibly shy, incredibly quiet, not really a sporting person, to be fair. Since then she has went on to be part of the Police Scotland volunteer group. She's one of the leaders of the sessions just now. The young participants who come along look to her for advice, they look to her for skills, how to shoot, how to dribble the ball, and that's based down to her coming along to the session and finding something that she was passionate about.
I've not liked the whole Stranraer area most of my life, and I've not got on with a lot of people in here just because there's a lot of rural areas and that, but coming to Ryan Centre is actually a place where I can just come, go to the gym, go swimming, go to Hill Street, play basketball, play football.
The CashBack funding has allowed us to allow all participants to come along to the session, to all have their own time, to all have their own space to be coached and be mentored and be helped and have a space to go that they feel comfortable with. I think it's a fantastic approach, you know, for somebody to come up with something that seems so simple. Once you know about it, you think, why has this not been done everywhere?
Any sort of funding, any sort of community programmes like CashBack that can help and help provide these platforms for children to be involved in that is great, and it's very, very beneficial and very welcomed in Stranraer.
kids come to me, well they're adults now, but we've been working with them from kids. They've not had anything to do for a while, so we set this session up for them. They come every Friday, love it. Come and keep fit and stuff, and it's just good to see them all the time. It's rewarding knowing they're going home with a smile on their face.
He's a very good coach. That's what I like about him, and he's funny as well.
Great with the kids, really good. Well, young adults, I would say. Fantastic, yes, he's good, Paddy, yes.
Without overplaying it, it's absolutely changed his life, and for us at Celtic FC Foundation, he would be an exemplar of an outcome. He's completely transformed his life. He now works with vulnerable groups, he works with children and young people who live with Down syndrome and autism, he works with older people who live with dementia. He's delivering our projects in Scotland, he's delivering our projects in Ireland, and he would be the guy to look to say, this is where I am on the journey, or where I was in the journey at that point, and this is where I am now.
Oh, it was really bad. We didn't think he was going to come out at one stage, because he was so young as well. My mum she was in a bad place, like always worried every time he went out, like thinking, where is he, what's he up to? Or if the police are going to come to the door or something. So it was stressful, it was.
So I was in Pullman, where you stay till you're 21, and then once you're 21, you come up here, and it's what they call the big house for adults over 21. So it's not a nice place to be in, but it was my own fault, I take it. Committing crimes and stuff is just not who I am, and I don't know what went through my head when I was doing it. When we ran out of drink, that's when we took drugs and stuff we shouldn't be taking at the age I was. That led me onto the streets just up above here. I was about 14, 15. I just lost my nana, so it was quite hard for me because I was really close to her. We'd just go up to the streets and just grab people and tell them to give us their phone and their wallet. So we'd just have a pen or something on us, and they would think it's something else. So they wasn't hesitating and handing them over. So, yeah, it was surreal. I think when I was 14, my first sentence was 2.5 years. Yeah, so I wanted to take. It wasn't good going away from my family, so. But I didn't learn my lesson when I come back out. I ended up doing it again, and I got a longer sentence this time. So I think after that, I did learn my lesson that time. This is a bench where it all started, where all the alcohol was consumed and drugs were taken, Valium were taken. Yeah, so I blame this bench for my crimes. Just came into the stadium and I've seen a few other coaches. They've told me they're going to be playing against the police for CashBack, so I've asked to join the team and they're going to give me a first half, so I'm looking forward to that. The staff that was working with me on the course, they were just so positive and told me like stick in at it and just do things that we ask you to do, then you will get a reward at the end hopefully. And the reward is that I'm still sitting here today. So.
Celtic FC Foundation has partnered with the CashBack programme for 4 years now. It tries to alter that path. It tries to take these young people, primarily young men, and if they're heading to re-offend, we try and divert them into another direction. So we work very closely with them, we listen to what's going on in their own lives. Everybody's very different, and we try and help them deliver their own dreams, if you like, whether that's education or employment or a bit of both or some volunteering. We try and keep them in the right side of the track.
When I started just getting to wear the tracksuit, it's my boyhood club, so working for him is just special, so I wouldn't care if it was working for him for nothing. It was just coming to the stadium every day, and it's my workplace, so it made me really happy, and I just didn't want to go back to the life I was, and yeah, it's changed me massively. If it wasn't for Celtic welcoming me onto the course and giving me this opportunity, I mean, I don't know where I'd be. I'd probably back in prison or something. I'm not sure where I would be actually.
When we were younger, we used to think we were twins, and they always think he's my older brother, because I'm so short and he's so tall, and I always used to annoy me. It's mad, isn't it? When you think about it, the way you've turned it out now, back when you were like 14.
I was
wild.
Yeah, he was a wild child.
And the ring crowd, I think.
Aye.
They were all wild around here, weren't they? When we first moved. Honestly, how far he's come. Literally, I didn't think he'd get out of that circle, just into prison, out of prison, into prison, until the Parkhead job came up. And there was a bit iffy as if he was going to stick at it. But it just shows us, he proved us all wrong, and he's still there, and he does amazing, don't you? So all he needed was something to focus on, and that was a job. And when he got his job, that was the change that we needed.